Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. The 26th. Yeah, yesterday was a crazy day, and I think that we're going to have a pretty good day today, too. So let's just go straight to the charts here. Volume profile. Yes, so yesterday, let's just review. Things going okay, and then like the whole bottom just completely fell out for no apparent reason. And then we recovered. I took a long somewhere down in here. I took it off when it got to my line. I guess maybe I should have held it. Nah, I didn't want to sit and babysit that all day. I had work to do. So we recover. In the overnight, a little bit of, they look a little skittish, but they buy that too. And now we're above yesterday's high. So things still look pretty bullish. If we come over to the treasuries were pushing up pretty big yesterday, right? Something definitely was going on because this move up into this area was like really aggressive. Like they knew it was coming or something, and then a push up a little bit higher. I'm thinking, one theory is that some of the shorts in GameStop were getting screwed over so hard that they were having to liquidate the rest of their portfolio. I don't know. I bet you that later on in the week, we're going to get some more insight into what was going on there, and it will be startling. Anyways, oh yeah, I also need to point out in the Treasury. Oh wait, what the heck? That was kind of weird. In the Treasury, we're kind of changed to back down. We're flattening now instead of steepening. So big change in the spreads. So keep that in mind. You're trading the Treasury. Oil doing okay this morning. Gold still just kind of going sideways. Same with copper here. I mean, copper fell with the rest of the market and then recovered, but in the overnight, copper's not been doing as well, which is not so good. Yeah, we got a little bit of a rise in the data from that insanity yesterday. Not getting to the 90.6 area, which is where it kind of gets interesting, and now turning back down. So for the moment, it looks like their risk appetite is okay. I think we could see some moves. It looks like, well, geez, they just got a big block buy come through in the 10-year. It looks like the order flow in the moment is still very aggressively long in the 10-year. India is like a bandit in the world that advocates civilized trade. Says, who is Xi Jinping? Well, that's funny. The Beijing bee is what Zero Hedge is calling it. That's funny. All right. And then, oh yes, almost forgot what you came here for. Not really what you came here for, but what some of you guys maybe. GameStop had a huge run after the open. Just every retail trader trying to chomp on any bit of it that you could, and some of them then dumping it. I'm pretty sure that's what caused that. I'm sure there are a lot of people stuck above 100. Like I said, about 80% of the people in a move like this are going to get stuck because the impact of your trades, once you're done on your all-in, it's going to come lower. But that does not change the balance here. Just keep that in mind. These shorts are still in. As far as I can tell, all of the data that I've looked at, the shorts are still in. We are a little bit higher in the pre-market. I think that we might see some of the same again. So we're just going to bring this over here. We're going to bring this over here. We're going to make it small. And get everything in there. So How are you guys today? Let's see. Richard saying you sound like you're feeling back to normal. Yeah, I've been normal for a week or two now. So I got over that post-COVID. I mean, I still got like gunk will come out of my throat, but Bara Daughtery says, looking forward to sitting in front of my computer all day and hopefully making some money. Oh man, don't do it all day, man. Oh, I tell you what, I do this for what, 2-3 hours and I'm done. That's all. You cannot take it. Well, order flow. We're doing order flow trading, so I mean that's pretty intense. Take some rest. The stress will affect your performance. Watch your health on this, you know, because that's when people start to do crazy things, right? That said, I think that we're going to have another crazy day in GameStop. You know what? I cannot see a darned thing with that volume profile thing on behind, so I'm gonna turn that off. And let's zoom in on it a little bit here. We just get this. I want this. There we go. Okay. I think we're set. So the treasury's continuing up there as I'm yapping. Well, that move kind of brings them back to balance. Let's just watch them here and see if there is actually a desire to trade there. Good morning, Go. Let's hear. Let's turn on the... What is that emoji? Yogu this? I tell you what, you guys need to get into if you're a subscriber to the channel for $1 a month. I really wish I could make this free. If I could make it free, then I would do it. But YouTube, to have the custom emojis, you have to be a channel subscriber. So you click the join button below, and you join for $1 a month. There's also a $10 level, and that's for the indicator package. But $1 a month, and then you can use these lovely things here. Let me put them in here. You can do the ball, you can do the shocked Seth, you can do the money printer, and you can do the gay bear. I mean the non-binary, non-cisgender bear. Yeah. Anyways, so. in Discord, the people use the shocked Seth all the time. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Hmm. Let me ask you my question in here. I have a little bit of food, so it's still pretty chill. We're just gonna watch this 10-year. I don't want to mess with the 10-year today. I'm starting to wonder though. I mean, like FOMC tomorrow, when we see these big moves in the RTH session of the bonds ahead of FOMC, I'm always thinking about if they know something that we don't. But let's just keep an eye on it. That was kind of like an aggressive buy there in a place where it might not necessarily be justified. And the flow that I've seen after that kind of seems to be flowing off of that and not necessarily because they wanted to trade in that location. So I think that it's better for us to just kind of watch it for a little bit, get an idea of what it's doing. Oh boy, what's Zero Hedge tweeting here? Is Melvin short BYND? What is BYND? We'll use this chart. No, not this one. This one. Oh, Beyond Meat. Ooh, my. Look at that move. The retail bear raids continue. They are, man. Beyond Meat is not necessarily a stock that I personally want to get involved with, but that is a move for sure. Good grief. From 160 to 185. I think this is like, what, a 10% move? Roughly. 1-hour-old Biden to order online insurance marketplace to reopen for Americans who cannot get health insurance through work amid COVID-19 pandemic, says the Washington Post. Ooh, I wonder if that's good for my own company, because we are a healthcare exchange. Hey, Joe, can we open too? Can we open too, please, please, please? Early results on Pfizer vaccine are encouraging, Israeli HMO says. You know, it's kind of interesting. And yeah, there was so much to read and look at yesterday morning. Yesterday was such a crazy day. Today on Twitter, Discord, relatively calm. Let's check Reddit here. See what they're saying on Reddit. When are your end of day estimates for GMA? Well, so just my observation from sentiment. So what I'm about to say, I don't think is really very tradable, but just kind of my feeling on it. It looks to me like a lot of people got burned. Like a lot of people got burned on this thing, because I think that this buying was almost entirely retail, and it was kind of the thing that I was. Well, it wasn't kind of. It was exactly the thing that I was really warning people against yesterday, right? Remember? Oh, it's over here. This picture right here. You remember this picture up over my head, right? It rises up your price. That's your price impact. The more shares that come in, the less that your price impact actually has on the stock. But then when the sign changes and you start selling, because it's the other direction, you start having a more aggregate impact on it. And if it's equal in volume, then you will push lower because of the price impact. And this has to do with aberrations in latent liquidity that are caused by this kind of a move. So it's not surprising to me that they opened up at like 88 and then pushed higher and ended up lower after that. That's the inefficiency of retail traders here. All right. But here's the thing. If you're in GameStop, and I bought one share, I should disclose I bought one share at $80. All right. So from my perspective, what is the game plan here? Okay. My stop is there is no stop. I am willing to give this $80 to the market if I have to. I will hold it I am holding it. You hold it either until GameStop goes bankrupt or those jerk offs that have been shorting this thing go bankrupt. You get what I mean? right? So I don't think that this thing is done. I think that GameStop could continue to do wild and crazy things all week, but because of what happened yesterday, I think there's going to be a little bit. I feel like some retail guys are feeling a little bit down. I'm concerned that the daily volume today will not be as high as it was yesterday. But what is likely to happen? I mean, what are these guys going to do? They're going to short more shares, right? They're already over 100% of the float. Nah, there's nothing they can do. So I think that maybe we could consolidate a little bit here. Maybe we have a rise today. I don't know, but it might be a little bit calmer today, and maybe even tomorrow. And then maybe after that, we can have another rise. But the shorts aren't out yet. So I say that the trade is still there. Trumped up exactly what I'm doing. I've put money in because I don't care if I lose. Time we get back, those investment firms are screwing people. Yeah. Like, you guys got to understand here. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you guys, every way that's been coming in here off of GameStop, I think you guys do understand. But for my regular viewers that are maybe a little bit shocked by what's going on in GameStop, you got to understand this is not a stock anymore. This is a battle zone, right? Well, you throw all logic and everything else out the window. This is retail trading wants to screw over the big institution. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not like just completely tilted in favor of the retail guys, okay? Like, they've already made some changes. One of the changes is that they've changed the spread on the options. So the strikes that you can pick are further apart. And that means that like the spread that you're paying for an option is like $20. It's like that's like $2,000 or something like that. So as soon as you buy an option, you're like immediately in the hole. And I think that this is an intentional thing to make it so that people buy less options and to prevent the gamma squeeze. I don't know. Uzi says there's something really cool about the little guys ganging up and dumping their stimmies into robber barons. I totally agree. I keep seeing these videos of these guys on CNBC saying, oh, like, this isn't fair. This is like manipulation. And it's not manipulation. If I come in and I say to all you guys, you should all buy GameStop stock and you should hold it until all of the shorts are squeezed out, and we will time our buying. Don't all buy all at once. We will schedule our buying so that we have the most efficient impact on the stock and push it up. Okay, and I instructed all of you guys to do that, and I said, this is what you buy this time. Everybody A through E, you buy this time, and everybody E through K, that maybe you could make a case that we're manipulating. But that's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're saying, hey, the float on GameStop, the shorts on GameStop is higher than the actual number of shares outstanding. So you should buy it and squeeze them out. That is not collusion. That is just people on the internet stating their opinion on the stock and everybody collectively deciding to go the same way. No, I'm not in on myself, but man, big ups to you guys. Well, listen, Uzi, it's still only like $80 stock. You could buy one share. Buy one share. Think about it. In a couple of years, your kids. Do you have kids, by the way? I don't know if you have kids, but like your grandchildren, they'll be like, Daddy, where were you when the GameStop war was going on? And you would be like, well, honey, I just didn't do anything because I was too lazy to put my one share into it. Ugh. Do you want to have to tell that to your grandchildren? That's what I was thinking when I saw it come back like that. I was like, well, this is, hey, in fact, I can show you exactly where I bought it. It was right there. Around a little bit after 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. So about an hour before they closed. So I'm pretty happy. Well, I'm not going to say I'm pretty happy. Like, I mean, I guess I don't really care because it's $80, but come on. Don't you want to say that you were a part of it? And I looked at that and I'm like, everything that we've done with this channel, because this is really it. Like I was just thinking about this last night and was like, oh my gosh, guys, this is really it. And like it happened exactly the way that we always thought it was going to happen. Like we had like 500 viewers yesterday, which is just insane. 10 times the number of viewers that we usually have. And what were they all there for? They were all there to stick it to the big institutions. And we were there arming them with information to give them a fighting chance, which is exactly what we're here for. I'm really happy about it. I don't know if they're going to win this battle, but here's the next thing that I would say after that is maybe this GameStop thing kind of fizzles out. I tend to think that these sorts of things just keep going, and that anybody that's going to try and short this or stand in the way of this is just going to make it worse, right? But it ain't over, man. It ain't over. And these guys that went in and like gave Melvin Capital money to bail them out and everything, like Citadel, like listen, I'm not going to say anything bad about Citadel. If they gave me a job offer, I would probably take it. Like, I have a lot of respect for Citadel, but they've got to be like target number one, man. Like, they're the biggest ones out there, right? I can only bring 5 soldiers to fight because my troops have to defend my depot on other fronts too. Well, like, and here's the funny thing, like, we talk about it like a war. Just remember the square root law of impact of large meta orders. The square root impact of large meta orders, which is a constant times the size of the meta order over the daily traded volume, square root. The more lots that you're putting in at once on one move, the less effect they start to have over time. At first, it's really high, but then over time, it goes down, right? So that means that you don't want to go in and say, there's like too much buying up here. We need to just everybody buy, and you need to add in and take unreasonable risks. And no. Be smart about it. Let it come back. Let the price impact of that move trail off. Let the long memory of the markets trail off. Buy the dip. Be smart about it. You only got so many shares, so deploy them wisely. Don't chase. Do not chase. The chasing doesn't help your cause, right? Realistically, so I don't think that there is any way to accurately predict what price it's going to peak at. I went and I did a little bit of math, and there's a couple of different ways of valuing it. When I first did it based off of open interest to try and determine how many stops had been taken out, my conclusion was that the shorts stopping out was at least $20. And when you add all the retail buyers on top of that, it's much, much more. But when you look at, they moved up like what, $80 yesterday? So that way of valuing it clearly isn't useful. So then we go back and we use yesterday's changes. And somebody posted on the subreddit that it was like 2% of the shorts came off yesterday, or the changed yesterday. So if I go and I change the price impact of all of the shorts getting out off of that, and when I say all the shorts, I mean all 70 million, it got me to 780. Which is like, okay. But then there was so much retail in there yesterday, I don't think that I can really use yesterday's information off of that. So I'm going to say that 780 is too high. So it's going to be somewhere between $110 and $780. Can I get a side bet with you on GME? What would that be, bots? Do you think it's going to go down? MarketWatch GME data says 138.4% of share flow is shorted I did not know that was possible. Well, it's not supposed to be possible. I think that what happens is because of, you know, like issues in the back office and stuff like that, that ends up happening. Right? You know, I have a little bit of food here. Let me take a bite or two. Gary Rich says, Seth, your math calculating sucks, man. Well, I think you're right, Gary. The whole point that I was trying to make off of that is that we have ways of calculating what the price impact of a large meta order is going to be, but I personally do not have the data to be able to make an accurate estimate on that. If I was, you know, had a long history of placing large trades in GameStop and seeing what the net effect on that stock was, I could go and I could look at the spread, which right now is about 20 cents, and the average volume that we're pushing and everything else, and I could make a calculation based on the square root law of price impact to calculate how far it will go based on the stopping out. But I don't have that data. And furthermore, it probably doesn't matter because whatever that number is, there's so many retail players in this that is probably going to go like a lot higher than that, right? But yes, we're talking about the GameStop. No, Gary. No. Wait. Let's do. We should use the Texas speech here. Come on.
Gary Rich says, dude, GME was a short squeeze.
Correction. GME is a short squeeze. Well, Gary, if you think it's over, maybe you're right. There's no real way for me to know. I personally don't think it's over. What I will tell you is this. This move right here was not shorts. That was retail flooding in, trying to get in on this and getting burned, getting in their own way. Because the aggregate number of shorts did not decrease. They're still in. There's still like over 100% of the flow, right? Based on the data that I saw. Zero Hedge posted about this a little bit yesterday. A number of people have been posting about this. It's not equalized. There's still shorts in it. One of the big shorts got stopped out and was given a loan. I don't know what happens on that one. Like, did that loan prevent them from having to bail? Or did they bail and they were just replaced by more shorts? Or, are they now going to have to do operations to reduce their shorts today after making the deal? Because I can't imagine you being Citadel Capital saying, okay, I'll give you $2 billion. You go and put it in this GameStop thing and so that you can double down on it. That just doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't make any sense. Go to January 1st and January 21st. So let's do that. Let's go a little bit further back. So if you look, what date is this? So here's like the 1st, here's the 13th, Here's 23rd. This was Friday. And then this was Monday. Guys, do you know? Come on, Gary. We all know what a short squeeze is. There's a lot of people that are short. And the more that this moves up, the more money they're losing. Yes. Apparently, it was enough when you combine this with GameStop and BlackBerry and all these Bed Bath & Beyond, CCIV. I forget what that one is, but it's a ticker. Now they're going after the big one that I'm seeing them mention today is Nokia. Was all enough to basically bankrupt these guys. Do you think no? Well, yeah. So here's the thing that I think is interesting. Listen, Gary. If there's something else about the short squeeze that you want to share, then just out with it. I think that the biggest proxy for information on what's going on with this pump and seeing what people are saying is Wall Street bets. But this would be happening regardless of Wall Street bets. And all of these people on television that are saying like this is collusion, like retail traders, they can collude and we can't, and it's not fair and it should be illegal or something like that. I think that they're missing the point. Wall Street bets were not the first people to point this out. The first people that I saw pointing out that the float was that the amount of shorts was so high was Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge went and posted and they're like, is this right? And then I started seeing people talk about it on Wall Street Bets. And I think that the reality here is that if it wasn't Wall Street Bets, it'd be Twitter. If it wasn't Twitter, it'd be Facebook. If it wasn't Facebook, it would be on Discord or somewhere. Like, people are going to talk and they're going to find these things and they're going to take advantage of them. And if you're a large firm, the only advice I can give you is don't go short on a stock where they're already beyond the float in terms of percentage shares short. So you're saying I should bet my house? No. What? Oh my gosh. See, it's going to be really hard here, Gary, isn't it? Because these guys, they just want to go. They just want to go. Oh, crap. When I did that, what happened? 5 days, maybe? That's a little better. Don't take on any excessive risks. Put in money that you can afford to lose. If you're going to do it, put in money that you can afford to lose and buy it at good buy opportunities. If it goes without you and you miss it, then oh well, it doesn't matter. There's no reason to be. Listen, I'm just thinking like, what are the things that I can tell these guys that'll help them out the most? This is the thing that will help you out the most. Okay, we live in a world of abundance. Okay, like really at this particular time, especially when it comes to money, there is so much cash floating around there and there is so much opportunity floating around there in this market. There is absolutely no reason to jump into any one particular play. You sit down and you think, this GME thing is big and it's a historical event, and it is. And so I totally understand you want to get involved. That's why I got involved. But you don't have to chase it. You don't have to chase it. There is so much opportunity in this world. You're not missing out on anything if it goes without you, because there will be 5 more stocks like this that'll bump off tomorrow, right? So don't chase. Take wise buy locations. Buy dips. You look at the technical situation. You say, I don't think this is done. The shorts aren't out. I'm going to buy. Right? You buy a dip. Don't buy this, buy this. Yeah? You kind of yellowed yesterday with debt spreads. Wow. Well, I'm very jealous for you guys that have tens of thousands of dollars to purchase GameStop options with. But that's not Treasury. Yes, it is. Listen, it ain't sexy to FOMO, you know. Listen, this is like you got the girl. You're doing all of the right things. You went to the bar, you found a really pretty girl, you got her to come home with you, you're taking your clothes off, you know, she touches you once and you let your load off. That's not sexy. Buy the dip. Is information available on the current percent of GME shares that are still shorted? Good question. So, because I've been trying to find every piece of information that I can out there on this, the thing is I don't get like minute by minute data on this, unfortunately. But if we come down here on Zero Hedge was where I was looking at it. No, we have to go way back. Oh, it's on here somewhere. I might have already scrolled past it. Sell Mortimer. Maybe that's what that one. They're saying, it's kind of suggesting that fund having to be bailed out is what caused the panic yesterday. There we go. After all of that, 139% of GameStop's float is still short. Okay, this was after market yesterday. So when this started, it was 144%, and they're saying that only 5% of that has come off, or that what has come off has been replaced by new shorts. So, as far as I know, at the current time, they're still short. Oh, while I'm yapping, that I missed the long in the E-mini that I wanted to take. Actually, no, that one's interesting because here's where I would be buying it. The way that the rotation worked, it was a little bit off, so I think I would have missed it anyways. Anyways, the thing is I just don't understand. You're a hedge fund and you're short that thing. Wouldn't you just be doing everything you can to scramble out of it? Like, it seems to me like that they're trying to just like wait it out, but this could go on forever. I mean, but with the way that this is going, next Monday your grandma's gonna call you and be like, "Son, I'm thinking about buying GameStop. How many shares do you think I should buy and what price?" Like, well, not forever. They have a lot of funds, but not unlimited. Well, but that's the thing, is that it's not just like you're all gonna burn. So I think that people tend to think of it as like this. It's like there's this line. And in order for me to move up or down this line, it has to do with how many buyers or sellers there are. So if there's 1,000 buyers and 500 sellers, then it moves up, one tick or whatever the deal is. And it's not linear. That's the whole thing. It's not linear. It's like this. That's why we keep talking about this. So what will happen? You get in, and then some people sell, or at least that buying subsides. You're going to get this. If the buying just subsides, you get this. If there's people selling, then you're going to get this. Bloop. Right? But then what happens? Another set of buyers comes in. Right? And it could even be, the same amount here. It's just like it will just get more and more extreme, right? So just the fact of like people coming in every day and trying to day trade it, that alone could push it up. Well, we are seeing they're trying to push it down a little bit here pre-market, so we'll see. How did you do that? What do you mean? Look at the option chain. Yeah, so the options are kind of interesting, aren't they? You want me to look at February, March, or April? Well, let's look at February. So there's a lot of, let's see here, the puts, we're on the put side. Wait, how do I? Oh, it's right here. No, that's not it either. I was going to say, I thought that there was, oh, that's right there. Okay. I was like, where's the open interest on this side? So when you look at the calls are going to be like all down here. Like the calls are going to be like at the very top. They increased it all the way to 200. That's good. But before they were 115, like look at this. All of the buy calls were like at the highest that they could put, 4,000. And I think that's the highest, right? 3,000 at 50, 3,000 at 60. No, there's certainly a lot more open interest on the shorts, isn't there? But like, that's where I'm kind of like, it's going to keep going. You say when a 20-day moving average crosses through the 50, well, if you're talking about a stock that doesn't really have a whole lot of interest, then there's a reason for it to be getting going, then yeah, it probably would be an okay entry. Probably more efficient ways to do it, but looks, by the way, Gary, if you want to hit me on the MSTR, it's sitting out there. March 19th, 290 put, limit at $1. I don't know if that's ever going to be hit. Probably unlikely to be hit. But if you want to go and hit it, it's out there. I know you could do it. You come get it. Man, beyond meat, just going and going. Well, so the thing with a moving average, if you just go and do moving averages on the S&P 500, right, and you backtest those, what you're going to find is that the win rate on the cross of a moving average is actually not very good, and that things tend to move back and forth across the moving average a lot when it gets in that position. It's a reason that it's called a moving average. But when you do get something to go on it, then it tends to go, and that's why moving averages can be useful, because they help you identify the start of a trend, but they don't have any real probability on telling you that it is going to be a trend. It's just, if there is a trend, that will help you catch the start of it. So let's be nuanced and sophisticated about it, right? Because if you're just the cross of a 20-day and a 50-day, I haven't backtested that like on individual stocks, but I have tested that on S&P 500 futures, and it's not a profitable strategy. It's break even. Never. Well, yeah, sure. You can do indicator soup. So let me show you something interesting. I don't know if I ever talked about this. I'm still not feeling the S&P 500. I'm just gonna wait until they open. Let's see here. Was it this one? Yes, it's this one right here. Okay, so these guys at financialhacker.com, they go in, they make a lot of trading systems for people. Like they program them for people, they give them the idea and then they write it up. And so they went through everything that they've ever made and looked at, what works. So you can see here, the vast majority, well, not the vast, but a pretty significant portion of the strategies that they wrote were what we call indicator soup, which is what you're talking about. You take the moving average and all of this other stuff, and you combine them together in a way that supposedly exposes some inefficiency in the market, right? Versus data mining, market model, and risk premium. Okay, risk premium is the ones that we're talking about where you take on more risk per trade than the reward is per trade, and you can make money doing that. So then they go through and they say, what percentage of these actually made money? And look, particularly for Forex and crypto, which is funny because that's the places where those are the most common. And that might be because so many Forex guys ask them to make systems like that. But only 31% of the trading systems that they built on indicator soup made money. And look at the success rate down here at the bottom. The indicator soup was the least successful type of strategy. And what was the most successful type of strategy? A risk premium, right? Can you post the link here? Yeah. Paste. Is that too small? Hold on a second. Why won't it let me post this? There we go. So I think that this is probably partly a function of that the majority of the systems that they were, not the majority, but more, they were asked to write more indicator soup strategies than other kinds. But it just kind of shows you, like, if you're going to make a trading system, what are the sorts of things that you should go for? Well, risk premium, you have a greater chance of it there being successful with it. You got to be careful with that, because what that just means is that on a day like yesterday, we have there's some other YouTubers that kind of trade more of a risk premium type of a strategy, and they blew up yesterday. It's when you trade that, depending on how you manage your risk, it's almost like inevitable that it's going to happen, right? Another one, though, that was very, very successful was a market model based on options. Hey, what do you know? There's some edge in Black-Scholes, right? Anyways. I think there's not. It was just that. So, yeah. Interesting, yeah? Can anyone provide any insight into why BYND shot up 37% in the last hour? Well, I think that there are a lot of shorts in Beyond Meat as well. It looks to me like some retail traders, combined with some big sharks, are trying to do the same thing in Beyond Meat. It kind of looks like GameStop is kind of like people have kind of lost interest in GameStop, and they're trying to push on other things. They come back to it though, because they're still short in GameStop. But we'll see what they do on the open. It'll be very interesting to watch. They have, now that we've kind of gotten going a little bit, they have come down a little bit. By the way, it looks to me like I'm not getting... I guess I'll just zoom out to there. Okay, now I'm... See, why does it do that? I got some issues with the fidelity charts, let's just say. You might take those as profits and buy GME. That's funny. That's false. Statistically, the 50 SMA had a 94 to 96% successful price movement when coupled with the momentum breakout, bands breakout. Wow. It sounds to me like you're combining that with your own indicator and that I have no way of verifying that. You don't see what they describe indicator soup as? No, I think that they're pretty clear about it, but I'll just go back here and I'll read that part of the article to you. Indicator soups do not target a particular market inefficiency. They generate trade signals from a complex combination of traditional or newly invented and fashionable indicators with no recognizable concept or idea behind them. So they're saying you're taking a bunch of indicators that you think work and combining them together in a certain way, but there's no explanation of why that indicator should be able to point out a particular market inefficiency. So if you are doing something like in NinjaTrader, when you run those generating algorithms where it will, you have a bunch of indicators that you tell it to use, and it has a bunch of different algorithms that it can try in them, and then it just randomly combines them together until it finds something. That would be an example of indicator soup on steroids, right? So most of the trading strategies that I've written could be considered indicator soup. Are you strapped in and ready? I am. We'll see. It looks, I mean, there's been some okay movement up in the overnight session, but they are fading a little bit here before the open. We'll see what they do on the open. I bet you that there probably will be a big mess on the open again. We'll see where it goes out. I mean, you gotta realize these guys that are short, they're gonna try and scare you out somehow. Mine's got shipwrecked, and we took it in the. Oh, really? Wait, did you? I thought he finished and he took them on sim, and he still came out as positive. He got you took the profit on that first one though, didn't you, Ace? Yeah, he had a great day yesterday. There you go. In retrospect, I guess I had a great day yesterday too. But I wasn't very happy with my trading. I was not. So is GME going up? We'll see. I mean, I can't say that I have some sort of predictive signal here on GME at the moment. All I know is that the shorts are still in, and therefore the short covering rally could continue. Think they will scare enough out, or are they going broke on Friday? Well, I do think that the insanity that you're seeing in GameStop will continue all week. I do. Yes. Yeah, because there's that many people out there searching for GME. Okay. I mean, I do wish that I had taken that long, but it wasn't. The way the rotation, like I said, the way that the rotation worked out didn't really work. And I was too busy talking. Well, I think that there are some options on Friday that expire. I think that it's probably more complex than what that particular poster is talking about. What percentage of float for GME will be high short interest, at which point things will go down? Any ideas? Well, I don't think that the short interest is going to go to zero, unfortunately. So I don't know what percentage of it has to get out, but it looks like they haven't gotten out. One of the things that's interesting is that probably a lot of shorts came in here too, right? It looks like that some people saw this moving up and said, oh, okay, well, we'll get short now. Short at a much higher price. Well, I think on any of them. So for those of you asking for thoughts on the BB movement at the open, the first thing is that it's going to be random. To some extent, market movement is random and unpredictable, okay? So the only piece of advice I can give you is don't chase. Get a good price. Get a dip. You know, like yesterday. Do you want to be the guy that bought 155? Or do you want to be the guy that bought below 70? Right? You don't have to chase. You can let it come back to you. If you have a good, solid investment thesis or trade thesis, and I think that, you know, the percentage of shorts is too high, is a good thesis, okay? Then a move against you is a good thing. A move against you is great. So don't chase. Wait for it to come to you. You just watch it and see, okay, looks like they pushed, you know. So I kind of watched the insanity. I said, there's no way that I'm going to be able to catch this. It's going to move too fast on the open. And then in the afternoon, it kind of slumped. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I could buy here. And so I did that. A life lesson: when your friends tell you to purchase GME at 18. Well, that is a survivor. That is a survivor fallacy, right? You're only seeing the ones that worked out, and the other 100 that people posted that didn't do anything you forgot about. Do you have any? I haven't heard CRSR yet. You know what? We should probably pull up this nice New York Stock Exchange halts. Yeah. So is Beyond Meat going to get halted like right from the get-go? Do you believe that Nokia is being artificially pumped by the very people short on GME? I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Nokia. Let's pull that one up here for a second. I find it interesting because Nokia was a stock that I was looking at potentially investing in. And now it's like it's doing the crazy thing. I don't know if I want to get in on that or what. But I wanted exposure to 5G development. And Nokia is a good way to get it, right? But when I started seeing stuff yesterday, I was like, okay, well, hold on. There's a lot more going on in Nokia than I understand, so. Here's the start. Well, see, so this one, so the question is really, how often does this update, right? Well, they say as of 1/25/21, they say 68 million shares. And when I was looking at it, it was 71. But it's like, you know, well, here's one where it says previous short volume was 69,980. So here again, it looks like that the number of shorts actually increased from their last data point. Apparently in the UK, they are taking up contracts from Huawei, but people on the ground not sure if they actually do it well or not. No, I think that in the end that they're going to have to be forced to do 5G from Western countries. I wouldn't trust the Chinese. Wouldn't trust Huawei at this point. What is the goal? So I don't think that there is a price goal. The thing is that any kind of estimate that we make on price is probably going to be wrong. If we invested it, if we did it, if we had the data to calculate it and we did everything, calculated it proper, I think that we would underestimate it. What about NIL? I want nothing to do with that stock. The whole electro vehicle thing is just a zoo. This is a zoo too, but I think that this one has a compelling story to it. Phew. The kids are outside and I heard one of them fall over and I thought that was the baby, but it was fine. Sugar Daddy, I've seen Ace's statements before. He doesn't have to verify every trade that he makes with me. He showed me the first time and I was more than satisfied with what he showed me. Well, I think that there is going to be an attempt to pump GME again today, but it also seems to me, I suspect that the total volume for the day in GME is going to be less than it was yesterday. Wouldn't it be interesting to see the heart rate of every user in times like this? You know, I have thought about getting a heart rate monitor for that sort of a thing, but I don't think it would be very useful because I have like a high resting blood pressure anyways. My friend's big on the Chinese EV companies, but I don't know why. I always get skeptical. Well, like this is the whole thing with that one is that it's like Tesla's been going up, and so everybody feels like Tesla's gone too far and they missed it. So they're looking for, you know, a sympathy play. They're looking for something in the same industry that hasn't already gone, and that's where NIO came from. And for me, that's one that I don't think that I have any chance of making any kind of a good trade on. Here in GME, I understand how, you know, my specialty is kind of more in market microstructure. So when we're talking about a stock like GME, where it's really the people's positions and the order flow that are going to dictate where it's going to go, that's much more my domain. That and just trying to find a good company. I mean, if we come down here and we look at the ones that I have gotten into, hold up, I want to do that. Okay, the ones that I have gotten into have all been doing quite well. I caught my first 5-bagger with rare earth resources. I wish that the sumo was up more, but 50% after a month isn't bad. But even though I think that the volume might be less in GME, I really don't think that people are just going to completely forget about it. It's not going to be like, we had this big, huge move up and none of the shorts got out and then we'll just forget about it and it's over. I just don't believe that that's realistic. If anything, all of these retail traders will just hold on it. And I don't really think that the shorts can really add more risk. And at some point, I think that they're going to have to bail. How long can they really handle it? Now, on the other hand, I also kind of have to wonder about this whole Marvin. Was it Marvin Capital? Like, surely they're being forced to reduce their shorts now, right? We don't have enough information to really know what's going on there, but just kind of seems to me that you know, I don't really. So if you guys are going to put a bunch of stocks out there, most of them I'm not going to be familiar with them, to be honest with you. I'm much more like, what is the index going to do? I focus on futures because over on futures I can see like every order, right? Like I actually get the real, like, I don't really like day trading stocks. This GM, like a swinging, to me, GME, you could do it as a swing, right? But like for day trading, I want to see order flow, man. I want to see the full depth of a market. I want to see every order and what price it's going through at. And I can only do that in futures. So, oh, by the way, it looks like the 10-year came back. I forgot, neglected to point that one out. Also, to check in on our robots. Our robots are doing pretty okay right now. Look at the robots. One of them, I got too long in the E-mini that did pretty good off of it. And then I got this one here that's just kind of okay. Now, Indy kind of fades things and he's got issues, so he's down, but not too bad. And Jay made money too, so that's good. I made some fixes to Jay so that he doesn't trade as much. Okay, well, here we go. You know what? Let's pull up a quote window here for GME so that we can keep track of the volume. Already traded 4 million shares, huh? Wow. Well, need to pull up here really quickly. Just going to cover up. Oh, where is it? Okay, so it looks like our first impulse is slightly long, but it's very constrained compared to some more recent days in the S&P 500. Oh, look, there's GME's going. Yeah, that is volatile. It's 100. Keep in mind that this spread, look at the best bid and best ask in GameStop right now. Sometimes it's as high as 50 cents. So keep that in mind. That means that any one order could be, 50 cents higher or lower than the previous one. Now it's almost $1. Holy crap. As I keep telling you guys in the futures, because I don't have any order book data for stocks, but the book is quite thin, actually. Can be. Okay. Okay. So the E-mini turned back down there pretty hard, but they're recovering it pretty well. See, they bust a new regular session high? Nope, not quite. Shied away from it. That GME already 7 million. Well, we want to get up to like 176 million, so they got a long ways to go. We're 2 minutes in. Okay, so they got to 100. Already a little bit of a pullback, huh? Do we need to zoom in even more here? How are we doing today? Well, we'll see here in a second. So I'm trying to focus now. I've had a few adverse ticks, but nothing too bad. There's definitely some volume going through here at 60. It's a little stuck. But it looks to me like with the profile that we've got is like this. So if we're on the lower end of that's good. Don't sell. Here's something I want you guys to try and do in chat. Give people advice that will be the best for them in the future. And the best advice that I can give you is follow your plan. Follow your plan, whether that's buying or selling or whatever it is. If your plan is to buy GME and hold it until all of the shorts are wrecked, then just hold it until all the shorts are wrecked. $38.59.75 was, yeah, like we're basically opening above yesterday's high. Well, right at yesterday's high, I guess. It's kind of close, but okay, well, the E-mini, I need to pull this back up here. They had a good long. It looks like they're coming off. I'm going to... I'm slow. I'm already... It's, yeah. So I don't necessarily read that move down as necessarily bearish, but definitely didn't work out, did it? Came close. Yep, 100% agree. I'm following your plan. It's easy to have a price target, but not always as easy to click the sell button when it hits. Yeah. Well, you got to realize in GME, for most of you, I'm assuming that the plan in GME is to hold until the shorts are out. So that percentage is still over 100%. No reason to get out, right? Well, you know, today is like a light news day in the E-minis, so it kind of looks like there was a little bit of buying on the open and that they just kind of bailed, and that's why it went lower. I'm not sold on that this is like that's going to turn down now. I would say though that the buying was a little lackluster. There's a couple of strong volume spots up there, and then they just like gave up on it. Let's move this over here. There we go. Need this. I need to see my cumulative delta. I really hate it when they come up to the open and they bounce off of it, but I guess if you can take a trade like that, that's going to happen sometimes, right? If you love GME at 8, you think it's going to go back down to 8? Well, eventually, maybe it will. Like, for sure, when all of the shorts are stopped out of this, the retail traders are going to take their profits and it's going to go back down very quickly, for sure. For now, though, I don't think it's over. Now we should, oh wait, we gotta wait another 10 minutes, huh? So I have some targets based on the VIX. I have a video on that if you want to go and learn more about that, but we have a trading view indicator. So, because I don't get VIX data for my futures, for, you know, like my full data. So I'm 20 minutes delayed on that, but then we get what our daily targets are. Yeah, you can go short right now if you want. I wouldn't. Probably the amount that you would have to put on to really do like a smart short is probably more than I would recommend at least the bots take. You know, like here's the thing. Here, rule number one for me is never risk it all. Never put yourself in a position where you're taken out of the game. Never. All right? And when you go short, naked short, that's what you're doing. You're opening yourself up to unlimited losses. So if I'm going to go short, I'm either going to hedge it with, a competitor, or I'm going to do it with options. Well, to do it with options right now, you have to have like, tens of thousands of dollars to do anything even close to the... Sorry, is it? What is it? Let's go look. Let's just scroll down here really quick. Puts at 90 are 22. Okay, so you got $2,000 per contract. Probably more than most of you guys are willing to risk. It is dangerous. I don't do it. I'm going to hedge it. Halted? Oh, looks like maybe it did. Let's see. Yep. They got halted. That's interesting. Well, I'm willing to try this one more time. I think that it got halted because it dropped from 100 to 86 in like less than a minute. They got halted at 9:40. So almost immediately when we noticed it. Yeah, they halted it like 6 times yesterday, right? Do you know the amount of shorted shares? It's a little bit under 70,000, right? Or 70 million right now. Cost Corp also stopped. Interesting that the dollar is kind of coming down, but the indexes aren't impressed by that. When would you jump? Well, so for me, I am taking it more of a swing. I'm not necessarily going to hold it until the shorts are all out, but I'm be waiting for a significant up move. I'm gonna wait for the big flush up, and then I would be getting out. Like if we had another move up to 150, like if all of a sudden this opened up and 3 minutes later or 150, that would probably be my move and to get out. That's what I'm going to do. It's not illegal to tell you what I'm going to do. And I'm not organizing anything. If Melvin Capital wants to come and try and sue me or something so that I can be on CNBC, that would be lovely. It's halted, yes. Oh, okay. He's saying that not this. Okay, whatever. What do you think the odds are that it'll get back to 150? Well, at the moment, I don't think it will happen today. Okay, so there are like a ton of pivots down in here. Yeah, right there. In other words, there's going to be some interest in 3851 holding. Hmm. They're having difficulty, but the buyers are pushing there. Would you say it's realistic to expect a 200% increase? I really don't know. I think it's realistic to expect that there will be another push up, and I don't think that they'll hit 150 today, but maybe tomorrow or the next day they could go through that, yeah. So there's still a lot of shorts on it. Would that be like another 100% increase? I guess so. Realize though that the higher up this goes, that like the less those are going to be. Okay, so there they just busted the pivots. That, so there was a tiny bit of absorption there at 38.50, but it was enough to get them to bounce a little bit. So okay, here's GameStop is going again and they're buying it. Yep. If you're going to be in GameStop, just keep thinking to yourself, patience, patience, patience. And all of this anxiety about how far is it going to go and should I get in or out or whatever. No, just you get your plan and be patient. If you want to buy it, wait for good buy location. If you are in it and you're looking to get out, wait for a pop. If you are in it and you want all of the shorts to be out, then that's going to take a while. Let it keep going until all the shorts are out. You put 3K in? Wow. I put $80 in. I tell you what, my E-mini trade's not... E-mini is being a pill to me today. What software am I using? So I have a video on my channel called What is the Best Futures Trading Software Platform, where I go into all of that. But the depth of market that you're looking at up at the top of the screen, those are from Jigsaw. JigsawTrading.com. Application is called Day Trader with an R. But and then I have charts over here in NinjaTrader and robots in NinjaTrader. Actually, where are the robots? How are the robots doing? Did any of them? Oh, none of them took the profits on it? Oh, no, wait. This one did. He did. It looks like Joseph did not and lost some. It looks like India's been fading and has caught something, but he hasn't taken the profits on it. It looks like Jay. Oh, now that's interesting that my MESJ has made more money than my ESJ. Don't give up. Well, stick to your strategy, man. Don't sell if don't get nervous and sell. Like, I really think if you're doing the long-term trade on this, it's either you lose everything or you squeeze out all the shorts. And neither of those two things have happened yet, right? So you just sit and watch it and enjoy watching people battle it out. But don't get stuck into this mentality of like, go push. I gotta buy more. Oh, it's going down. Hold it. It doesn't work that way. Is AMC doing really well still? Yeah. I'm not so hot on AMC's future because of the whole HBO Max thing, but it's another short opportunity, so hey, why not? Same with Bed Bath & Beyond. Same with, man, there's so many of them. BNGO, I haven't heard that one before. Beyond Meat one, that one's kind of weird too. Where oh, I forget what that was. BYND, right? Where is that at? It looks like they're pulling back a little bit now after the crazy. Thoughts on Moderna? Well, if you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have had thoughts on Moderna, but I kind of feel like we missed the train on that one if you're not already in it. The strategy should be called manic. Why? Okay, so we had a dip below those pivots, and immediately afterwards they found some liquidity. So they bounced up really easily, and now they're coming. It looks like they touched a new low by a tick. It's not just like slipping through yet. Like, I'm not seeing stops yet. It does look though like order flow wise, and we come back here and look at this, that the sellers seem to have the advantage. Looks like the couple of guys bought that up a little bit and are getting dumped on now. Okay, finally caught our first my first contract on one of those. So now I can just kind of let it ride. We should be able to come over and look at TradingView and see our targets now. These are targets. I have a video about this on the channel about using volatility targets. But basically, I use the value of the VIX at the open to estimate targets about where the index can go. So the downside, if we're going to have a single strong move, would be 38.31. And then if it's a bad day, like it was yesterday, 38.03. 38.31. And then on the upside, it's going to be 38.85.50. Now, even though we're down from the open, it's not like excessive yet. So I don't know if I'm going to hold it all the way to 38.31, or does my natural target show up at 38.42? Okay, so there are some pivots down in that area. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look back at the volume profile here in the E-mini. So we're getting right to where the majority of the volume was. Well, not the majority, but like the point of control from yesterday at 38.48. So then there's this step down at 38.41. So probably I could move this down to here. Yeah. They're going to trade through that volume profile area. Keep an eye on it. I can always take it off earlier if I see something that, the other way. Well, some of these people made. Did you see this one? This guy put like $100,000 into GameStop, and it's worth like $2 million now. There are some of these guys that just... I sure wish I had a $100,000 portfolio to mess with. Well, the Treasury is bidding up. It doesn't... At the moment, it does not look good for risk. GameStop seems unaffected by it, but the indexes look sad. Was that why everybody's talking about? So I keep seeing the people talk about, let's call them DFV so that we stay, kosher for YouTube. I see everybody talking about DFB and lionizing him, but I don't know what it was that he did. So he turned 50K into 25 million. That's nuts. I don't have that kind of guts. I don't have those kinds of balls. No, sir. LiDAR tech. No, he posted, so that one, he posted a screenshot or something. I believe it. So he sold some of his options yesterday. That's wise. Oh, I have the other chart up. I'm sorry. And come back over here so you can see my lovely face. Ugh, India's so close on its short. Oh, that's right. We have consumer confidence at the top of the hour. So maybe why the indexes are a little lackadaisical, huh? And Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index. Stealthy, you're in Nokia. I need to take another look at Nokia because I wanted some 5G exposure. Now I have to look at it and be like, okay, is it, you know, is that one done? By the way, let's go and look at what it's been doing. Okay, so they're actually down a little bit. It was like crazy in the pre-market, but they're down a little bit now. It looks like they're kind of moving down in sympathy with the larger market, though. Is anyone can't hear him? Wait, what? No, we need the robot to read that one out. Oops. I usually have text-to-speech on, but I don't turn that on very often.
Can't hear him?
Oh, can't hear him. Am I too soft? Do I need to up the... I mean, if you are one of those guys that has the YouTube volume down like halfway, then I might be a little soft. But if you have the volume up, you should be able to hear me just fine. There shouldn't be much background noise. If it's not, if you guys want me to turn it up, we can turn it up. Well, okay, a couple of you guys are saying it's fine. All right. I mean, when I watch my videos afterwards, they sound fine. Just turn your volume up, I guess. Yeah, zero background noise. Thank you. I try hard. You know, this microphone right here, I mostly got because it looks amazing. Even though I know that this is like the microphone that they use in Hollywood and all, you know, it's like very common microphones. There's nothing special about it. But it does not make a very good streaming microphone. It really doesn't. But it does a great job of like canceling out the background noise, and so I'm okay with it. I had to do a bunch of crazy things to get it to work, but hey. And now for a word from our sponsors. Get your Traders Going to Trade mug in the video description below. Eh? What's going on with Beyond Meat? Traders Gonna Trade. Will GameStop move up today? Traders Gonna Trade. It's the answer to everything, guys. You want to know why things in the market are happening? That's why. I'm just saying. And honestly, these mugs just look so great. I mean, look at the mug. Look at how clear the letters are. It's a good mug, guys. The store link is in the video description. You say GME is rocketing? Well, it's a 91. It's 92. It's doing okay. We can hear you and your offspring with perfect clarity. They are a little loud today, aren't they? You know what the issue is? I have like French doors, like glass French doors here. So, you know, so there might as well not be a door there. There might as well not be a door there. I get like some door treatment and stuff, but you wish you had that mug? Well, you can get it. It's in the video description below. Here, wait. I'll even pull it out for you. I'll pull the link out for you. Right here. Copy. You want a mug? Well, there you go. I mean, I just want you to have a cool mug, that's all. Well, they sure are rotating around where we got at, right? I think that I got a pretty good. I'm glad that I took some profits down in there. It looks like they're gonna hover here until the manufacturing index. CB consumer confidence estimate 89. Got 10 seconds. 2 mugs sold equals 20 milk bottles for off stream. I don't know how much I make from the mugs actually. It's not very much. To be honest, the mugs, I mean, here's the thing. So if you like buy Jigsaw software with our affiliate link, like that helps the channel out a lot, and we put all of that money back into the channel, right? I have a day job, so you don't have to feel any obligation to support me. But if you enjoy the channel and you like it, then you help us out, right? But I made the mugs because I've got this group of guys here in this Discord, and I'm sure they're feeling a little uneasy right now because they're not used to having this many people in here, right? And my audience has just been the most dedicated audience ever. We're talking about like 50 guys or so that have been here literally every day for 3 years. You think about, Uzi says, I'm loving the memes. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, Uzi. Uzi is the one that really got the YouTube chat started. Diamond hands. Right. Anyways, so when you spend 3 hours with me, I kind of feel like you need something because that's like part of your identity at that part, right? So that's why we made the Traders Gonna Trade. And if I could make it so that I didn't make anything on it, I probably would do it if it meant that more people would be able to get them. But I think it's $15, so I guess it's cheap enough. But that's why that is. But honestly, you don't have to do anything. Just people watching the channel is more than enough to help the channel out. So, a man of the people, thanks. The thing is that for me, I treat day trade. I mean, I work very hard. Don't get me wrong. When you're doing day trading, you've got to work hard, and I take it very seriously and I work hard. But from the perspective of like what you make and everything, I treat it more as a hobby. Sometimes I make money and sometimes I lose money. In 2020, I lost money, and that just happens sometimes. It's a very difficult thing, and so I still have a day job. It's not how I support myself. I have a pretty good day job. So, yeah. This is your captain speaking. We're going to the moon. Well, thank you for, yeah. Hit the like button. It helps the channel out greatly. See what we got.
Says smash that like button, guys. Thumbs up.
We got 350 of you in here. And about 35 likes. That's like 10%. Let's get that up to like 20%. You bought one share and you're down $2. I touched the like button with my sensual. Ooh, the fam. The fam. How much did you make with GME? Let's look. If I sold it right now, I made $10. You should put your P&L on. You know, I used to have a P&L on the screen, but I had to update it manually. And I kind of decided that it was better to just not do that. I really don't like the trying to clickbait. I don't want to attract people into this channel with the idea that, oh, this guy is making so much money, we should follow him. Okay, so the consumer confidence number was slightly better than expected. They are moving up here. I got stopped out. Can go the other way. If you do think the squeeze is still coming, I hope it is. How low do you think the dip beforehand will be? That's a good question. So it's really hard to game like exact numbers over long periods of time. The thing is that in terms of a predictive signal, I can only, look so far into the future. You look at my robots, they maybe hold 30 minutes, and those are predictive signals that I have. But if you look at this little picture that I'm going to put above my head, This is kind of the sort of thing that will happen, is that when people buy, the impact that they have on the market is a square root rule proportional to how many contracts there are. So the more contracts that there are, it actually kind of starts to have less of impact on the market. And then if the sign changes and they start selling, they start having more impact on the market again. And that can result in them moving lower. So you can kind of look at a move like yesterday was a really great example, where you can look at the move and you can say, you know, this move was like $80. And then when they sell, they're just going to dip, and it's probably going to dip 10 to 20, you know. And so that's one way that you can look at it. I think though that one's kind of past. So today it just looks a lot quieter. Like, look, we're at 19 million shares traded so far. Yesterday, for the whole day, I think we traded 150 million, right? So the volume, the interest in the volume has died down a little bit. Not completely, but it's died down a little bit. I think that today in GME, we could go sideways. And then that would coil things up so that on Thursday and Friday, they could pump it up again. It looks right now, though, like the money is interested in other stuff. I mean, like the Beyond Meat alone is like insane, right? Yeah, that means people are holding. Yeah. And remember, so here's another thing, is that if you get, you know, there's my picture there. I'm going to turn that off now. If it looks like this, you know, it doesn't get as low, you know, it maybe comes down to 50%. That means that the buyers are done buying and they're holding it. And they're expecting somebody else to come along and do that. It's just when I draw that curve, you know, that's just based off of the number of contracts in the meta order, right? You sit down and you say, well, that's not the way that stocks work, right? Stocks tend to go like this, right? Well, why is that? It's because the amount of volume that tends to come into it is, you know, tends to increase exponentially like that. That tends to be the volume, right? So you end up with this thing where like 80% of people end up getting in at the top, and that's why you get the kind of things that happened yesterday. So this is why I keep telling you guys, just be patient. Wait for a good buy if you're going to get in that. All people have to do is hold and wait for margin calls to come. That might be the case. I think it's going to keep going. What happens to the innocents when people sober up after the bubble? Yeah, so this is the thing, is if you've all done that, then when everybody decides to get out, it's going to come back hard. Yeah, when people take profits, it's going to come back hard. But until the shorts are out, and yes, the majority of people participating get in towards the top, like we just showed, and will lose money. So this is why pick a good location. You know, obviously wait until the shorts are out, but when the shorts are out, don't be too concerned if you end up getting out a little early. Oh my gosh. Stop trying to force Uzi into making some sort of a prediction that he doesn't have. I gotta tell you what, man, I feel like over the last 3 months or so, I've learned a lot about the markets, right? But every time that you learn something about the markets, I think that you have to realize that like the amount that any one individual person can know is insignificant compared to the amount of information that is available to know in the overall market. You know, there's just so very little that we know that trying to make predictions about every little thing. You just can't do it. I mean, I do it, and I'll note things about when I move surprises me or whatever. So it's interesting to me that they didn't hit into my order there, that they didn't go into the open. But, like, that's just the way that it goes. You can only make calls in very specific instances. So here on GameStop, for me, I knew that when they dipped down yesterday, like 70, 80, that was a good buy of the dip. And so I bought a 1 share. And look, if you buy a good position, guys, if you get in on the dip, then you don't have to sit there and stress about it, because you get it to go, you get a little bit of a cushion, and like, you're okay. What do you got here, bots? I want to show you. Anytime he posts a link, it's worth looking at. Oh, yes, very interesting. I mean, it kind of looks to me like the treasuries think that this is going to go lower, don't you think? Hang on, this one I can... Well, they sure turned down fast there, didn't they? Like, I felt like that buy was, well, we got to look at the delta. That's probably part of why. Yeah, okay. So now that's interesting. So they've come back down. The cumulative delta is largely equalized, and so is the price. Probably looks like that there might be some people trying to buy it down in here. So even though I think it's going to go lower, I'm not going to try and play that dip. Lambos for the rich traders and upgraded bus passes for first-time kiddies. Listen, Lamborghini, if you want to gift me a Lambo, then I guess I will take it. But otherwise, I don't think that I could handle having. It would stress me out. It would stress me out having a car like that, to be honest with you. Be like, oh, the kids, they're gonna scratch it, and like, okay. Surrender your tendies? I don't eat tendies. I'm just kidding. I eat tendies all the time. Okay, so there's some volume trading here in the 46 area. Some iceberging. Because let's see here, I had 2 losers and then 1 that scratched, so I'm reducing my risk a little bit here. I'm still on the throwaway sim account because I still don't feel very confident, especially since you guys are so distracting. It'll take me a little bit to get used to that if you guys keep coming in here every day. No Lambo aiming for an Audi R8. I'm not kidding. Like, the next car that I get, like, even if I was like a millionaire right now, I'm pretty sure that the next car I will get will be a Toyota Corolla. Oh, did I not give him the permissions? Hold on a second, Gary. That's my bad. Oh, I thought I did. Oh, I guess not. Okay. Now he's a regular. Okay. I work hard for my money. I'm not going to put it in something that depreciates wildly. Well, I mean, if you had $1 billion, I think you might think about it a little bit differently. But my issue is still the stress of having the car in it, like, getting ruined, Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that. Probably it bounces up and goes, but... Can try taking a little one here. No? Okay. Darn. I can't imagine a live streamer that won't read the damn chat. Sorry. Sometimes I don't like you. Here's the thing. I can do whatever I want, really. Hey guys, what do you think? We want to do some fun? Let's have some fun. Well, let's put 5 lots short on the E-mini. I mean, it's a sim account. Don't get me wrong. You know why? Because I feel like it. I want to do it. I could ban him if I wanted to, because like I can do whatever I want. It's my stream. Ooh, I know. We could talk politics. We haven't talked. Oh no, I won't. There's nothing interesting to talk about in politics right now, so I won't go into that. Oh, the fam, your wife is a stickler for monogamy. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Oh man. See, that's exactly the problem. I just want a Corolla. I just want something that has like the best gas mileage and will be hardy. Maybe a hatchback. I would like a hatchback. Otherwise, I don't get the Lambo thing. I don't. You know what? I love supercars. I do. I just don't want to own one. Like let other people do that. Oh my gosh, you've seen this guy on TikTok. I love TikTok. I probably shouldn't say that, but I like TikTok. And there's this guy on TikTok that I don't know what the deal is, but where he lives, there are just a lot of really nice cars. And so he will go up to the people in the car and he will ask them what they do for a living. So like yesterday, he did that, and the guy was the CIO for OnlyFans, for instance. And yeah, it's pretty good stuff. But I tell you what, man, some of the people that have cars, or there are people on TikTok that have. Most of the people that are in those videos are great, but there are other people that like their whole account is about their supercar, and they are the biggest douches. I don't want to be that person. No, sir. I would rather nobody would ever know. You know, politics doesn't pay my bills. You know what? I made money off of the politics, but Joe Biden just isn't giving it to us. Look at that. It's going to go against us, isn't it? All right. I tell you what, these guys have, maybe it's just the everybody being around, but it's been screwing my trading up. I haven't made any good trades. Well, I got the one, but then it scratched. Kind of looking at this, it just doesn't, I don't know. Yep, you make a lot, tell no one. Surely if you win the lottery, you won't tell anyone. Yeah, so if you have a serious question and I'm ignoring it, just keep asking it. It's fine. Eventually I'll catch it. I don't have Win in here. Win is usually really good at keeping track of the chat and pointing out the good questions and stuff, but okay, so they down again. This is kind of starting to look a little bit like yesterday, doesn't it? It's a really pullbacky though. It's fighting me a lot. Wouldn't surprise me. 31. See, I know that I'm off because the robots are overall making money and I'm doing terrible. So that's how I know that I'm for sure off. I am seeing like they're at like the stop out range now. So if they just take another little leg here, they take another little leg down, that then you could start to see some more ugly movement. Let's see what they decide to do. By the way, there's a little dip there. There's a pretty aggressive. It looked like an aggressive sell there in the GME just from how fast it went down, and now they're trying to dig their way back out. They still not touched 80 yet. Man, you seeing this? I have just not caught at least even one. Should I just? Well, no. I mean, I'm still on the sim account, so I can keep doing it. Just know, there's at this point, it'd be done, right? Some days you have days where you're just going to hit your loss limit and you quit right there, and that would be the place. Okay, well, meanwhile, Charmath is about to dump 500k into GME. Wow, that sounds like a lot of money. I don't know if it's going to be enough to really do anything. Look at this. This is going to go against me. How much have I gotten any favorable ticks? Sometimes this will happen to me, guys. Sometimes this will happen to me where I literally just can't get any favorable ticks. Yeah, I had one that went 16 and the rest are all dismal failures. Happens if all markets collapse and your money? What does that mean? Your money? I'm trying to think of a clever response to that, but it's not coming to me. Is the bottom middle chart a one tick chart? It is, I think it's a 30-second. Yep, it's a 30-second chart. It's a 30-second chart. I primarily look at it for the cumulative delta down here. Wow, can you see the depth of market in GME there? I wish I could see the depth of market in GME. I would feel a lot more confident in trying to say things about the short-term action in GME if I could see the depth of market there, but I can't. Do not have that data. If I could look at it with Jigsaw, that would be awesome. At some point, it's going to happen. What happens if all markets collapse and you lose your money? Well, they're not all going to collapse, but if all of the markets collapsed today and they all of a sudden went below the pandemic low, I have a wad of cash waiting to buy more stuff. Totally serious. I'm not even using 50% of my buying power. Okay, Blunt thinks that he has a technical signal that's going to take GME down. I guess this will be another great test of who will win, technicals or fundamentals. Well, I guess in this case it's not really fundamentals, but I mean the whole like there's shorts are going to cover is kind of more it's not technical data. Let's put it that way. Right? It's not necessarily something that you can see just from the price and volume and stuff, right? The GME evildoers want 80. Oh, it's pushing down there. I don't know. I feel like that push from 87 down was definitely somebody coming in like hard short. I don't know. You just got to remember when you see, I've always been into that thing when you see a push in a certain direction, that's people trying to make something happen. The only time that it really makes sense for a large player to push price in a direction is if they believe that pushing that price in that the price that they're going to move the market to is going to create a further reaction. So if you get something like we've had here where it pushes down and now it's kind of evening back out and retracing a little bit, either maybe it was somebody trying to do that and it failed, or it was just somebody taking a profits. I don't know why they would take the profits there, but who knows? Or maybe it was somebody going short, but like, I don't know. You kind of have to game it out. There's no real way to know exactly why they did it. Still not filled on that. It's close though. Melvin got a reload. Tell me, Greg, do you really think that Melvin would be allowed to reload on that? Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, you just got bailed out. Isn't the prudent thing to do is to get out of all of those losing positions and lick your wounds? You know what I mean? But everybody seems to think that they were given that well, and my understanding was that the $1 billion that they were given or whatever was just to pay off their debt, essentially, because they lost more than they had. So I think that means that Melvin has to be out or getting out or something like that. You know what I mean? There is no way they're using that bailout to double down. Exactly. That's my thinking. They shouldn't, but perhaps they argued that the potential stock price, if they tried to close that position, could be in the hundreds. I don't know. It's just, you got to realize that this whole idea of trying to use a wad of cash to push price in a certain direction, especially when you're just talking individual shares, there's some real problems with that kind of a strategy. And all of the research that I've seen on this subject suggests that there is just no reason to take a trade unless you have an informational advantage. Unless you're informed, essentially. You have a predictive signal. Human ego is a one hell of a drug. You know what? You're right. It's possible. I don't think that that's what's going on, but you're right. It's possible. Totally possible. Then again, they might be expecting that the craze is dying down. Most people want instant gratification, so a lot might sell when they see that it's not shooting up again. So if that is the case, I think that they're making a mistake. Honestly. So if you have a large position, so let's go back to the price impact, okay? Your impact is C times the square root of the size of your meta order divided by V, okay? So if you want to reduce your impact, that is, you want to get out of that losing position without continuing to push the market up against yourself, what is the thing that will help you the most in that equation? It's that V, right? It's that V. So having 150 million shares a day being traded, that's really good for you. That means that, hey, I can get out here with all of this volume that's going on, right? If you let it die and it comes back down a little bit, but you're still not making money, then when you start getting out, it's just going to pump against you again. And everybody's going to know, like, everybody knows that the shorts are still on. Like, that's a problem. So if it was me, don't get me wrong, these guys are way smarter than me, and well, I don't want to say smarter than me, but they know more about what they're doing than myself. That's what matters here in this instance. And but it seems to me that this would be a great spot for a short to try and get out at a loss. Is it halted? No, I don't think so. They halted it at one point, but it hasn't done anything. I'll just come in here and look at there's not nearly as many halts today, but I look like there was a halt on Crown Electronics Corporation. Namaste. I don't know. I really don't think that these retail traders are going to get out. I think that these guys are all staying in it come hell or high water, right? So even this is kind of where I was getting at. Like, if you're the short and you're like, okay, let's sell a bunch of stuff to push it down. Okay, yeah, go ahead and do it. Like, you're doubling down. You're not going to get back to break even. You're just not. You're still going to lose money. And when you have to take that position off, it's going to move up against you. So you might as well get out now if you're the short. We saw how someone forced GME share price to drop over 10%. So on that, I would be a little cautious about that. Okay, so like, where I'm not able to see the order book. If I was able to go back and look at a footprint chart of GME and look at that, then we could see what the volume was actually doing in that location and what actually happened. But I'm going to bet you that there was some sort of a liquidity vacuum of some sort involved. You know what I mean? Like the bids disappeared and they let it drop because of some large order came in short.
Ace Trades says, folks, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you don't, the FTC will do a no-knock warrant on your ass.
Right. The sentiment is just screw the shorts, ride or die. Yeah. Either way that it goes, it's the most interesting market move I've ever seen, for sure. Okay, well, they weren't quite able to get to 80, and it looks like GameStop is pushing back up again. Well, I tell you what, if they get up above 90 here, which it looks like they will, almost, come on. Come on, little buddy. You got it. You can do it. What happens if the shorts do get out? You will see insane amounts of volume, and it'll keep going and going and going, and you should take the exit. How to know that that's what's happening, I don't know. It's a tough one. This is one where the exit is tough. For me, I'm waiting for a squeeze. Like, okay, that was really positive. You think that they can get it back to 100 now? Some next round number to look at, I guess. And what are we doing on volume? 28 million shares? Well, it's definitely not what it was yesterday, right? By this time yesterday, we had traded like 100 million shares, right? Almost 100 million shares. Ignorant conspiracy question. You think level 2 info helping operators at GME? Well, level 2 information is definitely has some edge to it in terms of execution. So being able to see the liquidity out there, and then, you know, looking at how many shares you need to buy and so forth, and adjusting your buying, you know, like that can provide that can really make your entries and exits more efficient. You got to remember that with these big guys, because we're always thinking about, big guy comes in and pushes the price all at once, and, you know, that's the sort of thing that you're looking for, and we always think that's what they're doing, right? But the reality is that most large funds are, the cost of executing a trade is a significant. I mean, it's millions of dollars. So they spend a significant portion of their effort just trying to minimize their impact on the market, right? So level 2 is something that you can use to significantly minimize your impact on the market. So they're definitely going to be watching it and utilizing in the trading. Did it just halt? Well, I'm not getting any more. It's not doing any more data or volume, so it must be halted, but I don't see it on the nicey thing yet. Oh, okay, now I see it. Okay, it has paused. It halted. This is so unfair. When it looks like it will spike, they halt the market. Well, I mean, they don't choose when it does that. It's a certain percentage move that it gets halted, so just like they halted it on the way down. This is good. Like, honestly, think about it. Like, if you're a day trader and you're short right now, think about what you're thinking. Because when this opens back up, the market makers can open it up anywhere that they want. This is where, again, being able to see the level 2 would be really useful right now. Well, I shouldn't call it level 2, because level 2 in stocks is a little bit different. If I could see the full depth of market right now, it would be different. You know, I could see where it's going to open up. But if they open up after the halts, which tends to happen after these halts, yeah, and you're short, you're screwed. And so my observation has been that the majority of the time, and I'm going to venture 60 to 70% of the time, after a halt on the way up, that they gap up after the halt comes off and keep going, at least for a little bit. And then you will get either a flip around in the momentum or a continuation at that point. It's a 5-minute halt, and they can extend it to 10 minutes, I believe. But I wish that it was like I could look at this in at 10. It says 10:34:02. So then at 10:39, it will open up exactly at that time. But it's not that precise. There is some guy sitting over there with a button that says, "Okay, start trading again." So Blunt says trading the Fisher transform is one of the few leading indicators. So when you trade the Fisher transform, what is your signal? The cross of the zero line? So I've used Fisher transform. I don't think I've back tested it. I could look at that. Or is the signal that you look for on it more complicated than that? Yeah, make sure you put your charts in so we have a Discord, by the way, guys. If you're on Discord, though, I have like the way that our Discord is organized is there's a channel for products. So if you're trading stocks, so you want to go to the stocks and options channel. If you're trading equity indexes like I'm doing right now, you post that in the equity indexes channel, so forth. They're hating because they're scared. They did not like to click. No, I think we're over 100 likes now. Are we? I can't see. It just shows me a 1 there. He doesn't want you to have new viewers. You know, that's okay. Listen, I appreciate having all of the viewers. If tomorrow we go back and we only have 30 viewers, that was fine too. But I enjoy having all of the friends. Halted Nicey to the rescue. And you know, for those of you that have been around for a while, this is a point where I would recommend that you use Discord, right? So here's where, because YouTube chat is kind of just silliness for the most part. Oh, by the way, I'd point out, if you click the join button down below and you join for $1 a month, I would make it free if YouTube would let me, but for $1 a month, you get special emojis, and you can use the dollar printing emoji. Huh? Yeah, dollar printing emoji is great. So unhalted, there we go. Yeah. Well, it didn't jump. It didn't jump. We can say that, right? This guy. Yeah, but if you want to use YouTube chat is for fun. The Discord is a little bit more serious. You can post pictures, and it's a lot better for like that more serious analysis, right? GME needed a gap after the halt shoot. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't gap, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the end of the world. Air Gauges says, I prefer the old school Seth crew. Wow. Don't worry, air Cages. People will come and go. That's okay. I tell you what. A little personal stuff, right? I think I used to be really anxious about relationships and things. You know, if you were talking to me, how many years has it been now? 6 years ago, you know, I would be thinking, oh, wow, we had 500 viewers. Now I need to do everything I can to keep all of these people and get to know. You can only know like 200 people. You know what I mean? Like, that's how much the human brain can handle. So I would be so anxious about it. But now I know that it's like, because my wife is so secure, it's like, well, people come and go, and that's okay, because there will always be people. Because we have the ability to make new friends, and you know, there's no mistake that the YouTube has times where it's blown up. It's not the first time. In fact, 500 viewers is not the highest number of viewers we've ever had. Remember the first stream we ever did, when it was the Bitcoin futures going live on the CME, we had something like 3,000 to 5,000 viewers at one time, right? But I digress. For you new people, or sorry, well, for all of you, but especially for your old timers, make sure that you're in Discord. Because on Discord, it's easier for me to, you know, like, I can make channels and I can separate things, and I can have channels for those of you that like I really know well, to make sure that I don't miss your messages, for instance, that sort of a thing. Or like subscriber only channels. There is a subscriber only channel, but there's not too many subscribers that are subscribing to the $10 elite subscription yet. So that's not too, yeah. Okay, so Joe pointing something at, yeah, we did talk about this, but I'll talk about it again. NYSE ARCA revised the quote spread requirements for GME to $20 wide or $25 wide when the bid is greater than $100. And iRobot, they increased it to $10 wide in effect through March 19th expiration cycle. Yes, which means that if you buy, you're already down on the option $20. Which makes it very difficult for this whole gamma squeeze thing to happen, because the price has to continue up in order for them to make money so that they can use that to buy even more options. And so that makes it difficult for them. Yeah, you're not the first, Michael. You're not the first person that told me about Chemath putting money into it. I don't know who that is, to be honest. I'm glad he has so much money. And the other thing here, guys, John, well, Bot's name is John. I have so many moderators for a reason. So if somebody is outright spamming or trolling and it's obvious, then you feel free to get rid of them. I try to be, I'm kind of more of like a live and let live kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's a Bitcoin baby. Is that Chamath? I haven't heard of that guy. I mean, I follow a lot of the I don't know what we call them, trading influencers, like particularly here on YouTube, but mostly just following futures traders. So we had a friend. I want to call him a friend. I don't know the guy. I wish that I knew the other 2 or 3 guys that are streaming futures better. If you're listening out there, you come into our Discord and message me and we'll chat. But one of them actually blew an account yesterday, which I don't know, it's kind of bound to happen. And I'm not gonna, I've done way worse, but oh, he is a Bitcoin owner and he was the main chairman of Facebook. So see, this is like the way that GME is working right now. Like, okay, I don't like that it bought up so hard, but look, now it's pulled back. So like, if you think that this is like on the trend up, like, okay, buy location, right? You don't have to FOMO in here. You don't have to FOMO in here, right? You can wait for a pullback, and if the pullback never happens, then you miss it, and oh well, there will be another opportunity tomorrow. Or in this market, there will be another opportunity in 5 minutes. Yeah, it looks like a nice flag. It really does, doesn't it? I try not to read too much into those kinds of signals because I don't find them to be terribly reliable, but buy the dips. Yeah, don't chase. Realize, for those of you that are trying to squeeze out the shorts, when you chase, it hurts your cause. Okay? The slow and steady rise from you guys buying the dips, and the thing that would be most optimal is if it was a straight line like this. Okay? If it was just a straight line, slow and steady buying from y'all, that's what's going to scare the shorts. Okay? When it does this sort of a thing, that, they're like, oh, this is gonna, end over, because they think that you're gonna get ahead of yourselves and puke. So don't chase. Jimmy wants to break out so hard, but it's manipulated. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with it. It's manipulated right now. So the thing that stands out the most to me right now in GME is that there is not as much interest in it today. While we have the same number of concurrent viewers as we did yesterday, but the volume that's trading today, we had traded over 100 million shares by this point yesterday, and right now we're at 32 million. So that's the thing that's standing out to me. Is it looks to me like some consolidation in GME. Some consolidation in GME, and maybe they break out. I mean, so far, I'd say that their ability to hold 80 has been pretty impressive. But I don't have an exact price target, to be honest with you. But yeah, it looks like a consolidation day to me. So we might have another day or two of it kind of flat to slightly up. But that's the thing, is if like we have 2 days where it's just slightly up, like let's say that today we close at 85, and then tomorrow we close at 90, and then Friday we close at 95. Like that's what's going to scare them, right? I enjoy when Seth draws his pictures, the mind goes wild. Thoughts. I need to pull back out and start practicing the digital pen thing that I've got, the tablet. I was for a while there, I was practicing with it every day, and then I kind of forgot about it. It's sitting over there. I think it actually is still connected and would work. If it closes above 100, that would be amazing. Yeah. Now, and that's the crazy thing, is that when I look at this today, it's like, well, it wouldn't be insane for them to close above 100. Don't contracts expire on Friday? Well, so there's going to be a lot of weeklies that expire on Friday, yes. I'm not so sure that the options expiration is the whole story. How much is Jigsaw? So, oh my gosh, let me pull it up. You want let me pull up my little link here for you guys. Copy link. Open it up. Okay, so here is the link that I'm showing you guys. Here's my affiliate link for Jigsaw. So I do make a commission when you guys use that link to buy Jigsaw. But what I would recommend, what I use, is just the independent. So just note that the difference between these 4 different versions of it, the software is all the same. It's just different education courses that come with it. So, you know, if you really want education because you're rich and you don't know anything about order flow, then the professional would, you know, is good. I wouldn't go to institutional. I wouldn't do the institutional one. Oops. I wouldn't do the institutional one unless your institution was paying for it. There's also this market maker one. And for the market maker one, I would do the market maker if you're a guy like me that you're just intensely interested in market microstructure and that sort of a thing. But I'm going to bet that pretty much all of you are just going to get independent. So it's $5.79 right now. Keep in mind that there is a $50 monthly fee if you want to execute with Jigsaw, which I think is a big advantage. But you can be using it like, I just use this for data, and you come over here and execute in NinjaTrader. You can do that, and you don't have to pay the $50, right? So, so that's the cost on Jigsaw. And then there's NinjaTrader 8, which is like, depends on which license you get. I have an affiliate link for that one because they are a broker. They can't do that sort of stuff. What is your trading experience? That's a good question, right? So I started watching the markets in 2008 when I just got out of school. And I very quickly went and started working for Goldman Sachs in technology because I'm a programmer. And so I couldn't really trade there. So what I would do is I would just swing trade with a spreadsheet. Like I would say, okay, here's where I get in and here's my stop and target, and I'd trade it. I did pretty well with that, but I think that there was a lot of things about the way that I did that spreadsheet that were unrealistic. So I don't think I should consider that trading to really be accurate. So then eventually I left Goldman, and so I immediately went into going to trading futures because that's what I always wanted to do. So we've been doing that now for 4 years. So I think that I had been trading for like maybe a year when we decided to start the channel. And the only reason we started the channel was, you know, as a journal, because it was like a Futures IO challenge thing. And then it just kind of took off. It's still so striking to me because I know a lot of people have come through and watched. The number of people that watch the replays and actually do watch the order flow and practice with the order flow is staggering to me. That, you know, you will have a really dedicated user base here. Anyways, so that's my trading experience, and I just should be clear. Sometimes I do well, sometimes I don't. This trade is going well, but all of the trades that I took before that were dismal failures, and I feel that today it was a complete dismal failure, and I totally suck. And it's been like that a lot in this market. That's why I've been trading it on sim, because my edges haven't been working very well, and we're still working it out. Okay, so that was a pretty aggressive slip there. The market makers definitely pulled away. Let me hold on a second. Anyways, I don't like to be considered like a guru. I'm just a guy trying to figure it out just like the rest of you, and the only difference with me is that I'm dumb enough to record it. Okay, I'm not getting any. Citron Research's Andrew Leff says he is still short GameStop. Okay, that's why that moved. Okay, the news story is that the Biden administration is going to put an executive order on leases on federal lands. They're still in trouble. I'm sure, like, those guys are still short for sure. Ace has the right attitude. I know Eric Cages is a bit of a troll. It's okay. I don't think Andrew has any money left. Yeah, I like that. The Citron Research in particular. Like, I say that this keeps going until they've stopped out. Yeah. Anyways, so if the story is that the Biden, okay, now it's coming out on Twitter, Biden to halt oil and gas leasing on federal land. It's not moving oil, by the way. I think that was kind of expected. So I think that we can recover this. Let's just watch for a little bit. I can move my we can do some management on this one. Okay, so I'm not interested in the software, but I'd be interested in the data. Well, so what do you want to know about the data? Yeah, so Greg's right. First thing is that I'm using Rhythmic. There's Rhythmic and then there's the Rhythmic API Plus. I'm just using Rhythmic. Rhythmic will provide you full market depth. So you can see I can go out like 100 prices and you can still see market depth. Historical bid ask prices so that you can do tick replay. Robinhood is my least favorite platform. Why does the majority of I feel like the majority of the people interested in trading on social media at least got started on Robinhood. It's really difficult. Like, I have to say, coming from the futures side, like, I'm just telling you straight up, the platforms for futures are 100 times better than the platforms for stocks. I mean, part of that is because there's such a wide array of things that you can do in stocks that they kind of have more things that they have to make. But if you look at like the DOM that I can get for futures trading is 100 times better than any DOM that you can get in the stock side. TD Ameritrade is probably the best one on that respect, but I still don't think it holds a candle to Jigsaw, for instance. Ninja Trader, the ability to do order flow and all that. Yeah, I guess we're taking this off. So it looks like they're unhappy about the oil and gas leasing. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay. Can you create a subsection under platforms? Why? So I don't feel like that there's enough activity in platforms to really justify a second one. I'll think about it. Are you hi Askar? Yeah, so if you I have links in the video description, but some of I'm not really been showing them. I probably should. I usually trade with that kind of helps, but oh, it looks like one of them kind of had an issue. These histograms that you get down at the bottom, sometimes it screws up because I've been doing some development and I will corrupt my files. it stores it historically, and I corrupted one of them. It's okay. Anyways, those histograms are available at speculatorseth.com. Thoughts on GME with Chamath involved? Well, I mean, the issue is that in aggregate, $50,000 isn't really the... So the thing that I want to see, if we're going to see squeezing, consistency, right? I want to see people buying the dips. I don't want to see chasing. Chasing hurts, but buying the dip and, creating, yeah. If you haven't failed at least 3 tops, I think I've failed at least 3. Yes. I had to say, because I saw somebody stop out their account yesterday, and it was nothing against them, because I think that they've got a lot of good things going for them. But it's like, the way that you're trading, blowing the account is inevitable, man. If you get funded with one of those things, tone the risk down. Like, tone it. Don't trade it as high as they want you to, because otherwise you're almost guaranteed to blow up. Which Twitter accounts are most up to date for trading news? So if you go over to my profile on Twitter, just twitter.com/speculatorseth, I have lists, and one of the lists that I have is news squawks, and you can use the list of accounts that I follow, and I update it to include political people that might say important things. And then the next thing I would recommend is use TweetDeck, tweetdeck.twitter.com, and then you can see the updates from Twitter come in real time. Mary Kay just says, I can't imagine TST is still a thing. It really is something else, isn't it? I really thought that the combines would completely kill it, but apparently not. Apparently funding a $400 account is still too much for some people. I guess if you're just starting out and you don't even know if trading is really a thing for you, then maybe putting $400 minimum into it and buying the platform and everything is too much, and doing the top step trader makes a bit more sense. But I really thought that the micros would kill them, but it sounds like that they're doing as well as ever. I don't know who that is. Want to help humanity? Buy GME right now. It's simple man's opportunity to break Wall Street once in a generation, even just one single share. I'm in the long stock and holding. All profits will be donated. Jeez. That's funny. Well, I got out because they had another little bit move lower, but now I'm kind of thinking like that was the end of that. Don't get me wrong, a moratorium on oil and gas exploration on federal lands is like really bad, but I kind of thought that was baked in. Kind of thought that people would know overall that was happening. When is Ninja going to support crypto executions? This is a good question. There's a lot of things I would like to see in Ninja still. They support crypto data, right? I don't think that they allow that they have the execution part built into it. But my understanding is that they're doing a ton of work. They're kind of getting things ready so that you can do stocks and other assets. So I'm pretty sure that it's coming eventually. Now we should pull GME back up here. I'd say it's just kind of chugging along and going sideways. I'm okay with that. But you're right. In order to like really get people excited, I think that we would need to bump through 100. Did my site get death hug? No. can't be reached. Tisk, tisk, tisk. That's unfortunate. Let's see what's going on. Because the way that my hosting works is explicitly set up to prevent that sort of a thing. Do we get some updates here? Let's just come in and check it here. Probably gonna have to put in my code here, huh? Jimmy is ready to get wrecked. You think he's gonna get wrecked, huh? I'm kind of getting an inkling about which of you guys are. You always think that that's what's gonna happen. You and Gary both. Oh. Okay, I see what's going on. Let's fix that. What would you buy then? Well, you don't have to buy anything. I'm mad that I don't get I'm gonna get called by a spammer. I'm just gonna get all this stuff off my phone. I'm mad that it didn't send me a message. Let's see here. Maybe if I search, maybe I just missed it. Nearly free speech. Oh, it did. Oh, and I did it yesterday. Oh, phooey. Oh, phooey. Okay. Now will it be back? It might take a little bit. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, we'll wait 5 minutes. I think that we will have it before the end of this session, though. Looks like you guys did death hug it. It wasn't that you overloaded the servers. It was that I ran out of funding in it. So normally, I only pay for the bandwidth that I use, right? It looks like more of you use it than possible. Shorts will have no choice. They will have to cover losses and the price will rocket at some point. I think that it'll probably one of these days it'll jump. Like here's the thing is that you kind of do this thing where it's like it goes up, kind of comes down. Maybe we have a day today where it's slightly up, but like nothing crazy happens. Maybe 2 days like that. And then you bump it again and everybody goes back to it. They're like, oh, why did I stop looking at it? You know, I should have stuck with it. That's the way they do it, you know? Okay, well, while we're waiting for that, I don't think I'm going to take another trade, even though my trading was awful today anyways. So we're going to take a quick break here, and I'll be right back, all right? And hopefully by then, I'll have the website fixed. Let's see here. How you guys doing? Why not buy puts when it skyrockets? No, you know, like, we talked about this yesterday, but I think it bears repeating. It's really easy to tell when something is overvalued. Like, let me tell you what, GameStop is not worth $80. Like in the long term, you're not gonna buy GameStop and hold it for 10 years and make money on that. You're not. Okay. It's really easy to see that, right? But when you get these dynamics going in, they're very difficult to stop, and it will just keep going and going and going and going. So it's easy to see when something is overvalued and very difficult to make money from that information. On the other side, it's very easy it's very difficult rather to see when something's undervalued because nobody's talking about it. So you don't even notice it, right? But it's very easy to take advantage of it. If you find something that's undervalued, you can buy it. It doesn't cost you a whole lot, and you can just sit and hold it and wait, right? So on a move like this, the play is not to wait until the shorts get out and then try shorting it. Because every time that you try shorting it, you'll just be adding fuel onto the fire for them to push you again. The play is stop the shorts out, take your profits at the top, and then be done with it. Yeah? Well, that last little push there in the E-mini. So, oh, look at that. Big old fatty. Look at that. Somebody just dumped 1654 lots at 38.45. Well, I say, let's hit him. Let's see what they do. They gonna fill him? They're nibbling. So what we're seeing is very unusual in the S&P 500. I'll highlight it here for you guys on the screen. You knew. Do you see that huge fatty order? You can also see when they placed it over here. You see when they placed it over here? On the left? Highlighted in yellow? Yeah, it's unusual. So, spoofing is supposed to be illegal. So I I haven't seen like a really obvious spoof that was... Well, let's see. I think we've seen like two in the past 6 months. If that were to pull, then it would definitely pull up. But then there's also this whole thing where it's like if he finishes, it could also reverse on him. So that's why I'm kind of thinking if they push through it, maybe we could catch a little bit. We're taking it step by step, no rush. Yeah, there you go. No, you don't need to panic or... Okay, so the website is back up now. So would you guys like to see what that's all about? I'll show you really quickly. You come over here. You can go and download so you can use it for 2 weeks. By the way, you can download NinjaTrader and use NinjaTrader for free too. You go over to ninjatrader.com and they can sign you up for like free market data for 2 weeks and all that. That's why I made it for 2 weeks. So you can come in here and this explains how to install it and everything. And then down at the bottom, if you decide to use it, then you have to subscribe to continue using it. So the way that you do that is first you come here to YouTube and you click that join button down below at the bottom of the video and you sign up for the elite subscription. And then here on this page at the bottom of install, there's further instructions for activate. And then this just explains what you've got to do. You have to send me some information. And then, when I get the email, I look at it and set it up. Okay. So you see how when they got through that it just spiked up. Pretty good short-term predictive signal, don't you think? Anyways, and then here's the indicators that we got. I would just show you here a really good example of how I use this. Come over to charts. Here's the S&P 500. So it doesn't necessarily predict for me if it's going to move up or down, but what you do get is this sort of a thing. So these lines tend to be very reliable support and resistance, especially these down here. Now, what you will often see, we didn't get today, but what you will often see is they'll go through this line and they'll go. And then that's a trend day, you know? That's a trend day. But today it doesn't look like it's a trend day. It's just kind of going. Then what you'll see is they'll push to the line a little bit and then they'll pull back. And then usually if they stop there, then they're going to come back to this line or this line. And the way that this is working is I'm basically looking at every order there and I'm doing a little bit of calculations based on, how people trade, making some assumptions about their behavior and using that to estimate where the average buyer and seller is from, right? So if we get above like 38.53, then the shorts are no longer making money. When we get above 38.58, the buyers are making money, and this gap between them is kind of like the spread between them, right? Often what we'll see happen is they'll just bounce between here. But that's how I use it. And like I said, it's $10 a month. And the reason that we're doing it like that is because we're trying to create like a community, because the reason otherwise I would just keep it to myself. But what I've found is that there's just so much to investigate. I can't do it all on my own. So I'm trying to recruit, and so you pay the $10 a month, and then there's a channel or in Discord where we get to talk about it and stuff. So let's see here. General stash, $80 is a solid base valuation. $180 is a reasonable value. Really? You really think so, huh? I mean, I do think that GameStop has some room to expand because of, the online stuff and everything. I just don't know what that valuation would be. I know that it was higher than what the stock was, but all I care about is the shorts being stopped out. Well, I tell you what, I took that trade. I think I was supposed to get 45.50, so I caught a little slippage there on the execution that I'm not happy about. But Blockbuster is going to $100. If only Blockbuster was a stock out there. Opinions on BlackBerry? Well, I think the catalyst, yeah. So the issue is like on BlackBerry, it's like the catalyst was there. Is there more catalysts? I mean, I guess it's the same thing with GameStop. So it's like until the shorts are stopped out. I have to say the only one, because GameStop has become the focus, that's the only one that I'm really interested in playing like that for a longer term. Otherwise, you're asking me like, what do you think about the long term value for BlackBerry? I don't know. I will say one that has been moving today, we should come over here and check it, is Nokia. Okay, Nokia is coming back down today, but that one is interesting to me because 5G is huge, guys. 5G is huge. And I think having exposure to 5G is good. BlackBerry might be an investment. I know that I have at least one friend that was in it that's been in it for a long time and finally got the jump and has made a good amount of money off of that. Nokia was getting pumped. Yeah, I don't know why Nokia is getting pumped now, but I mean, does it have a lot of short interest? See, you know what's it? No, I don't have a position in Nokia. The only position, I guess I don't like to talk about my positions, but I guess because there's so many here and everything, I kind of have to talk about it, right? I only have 4 positions in my stock portfolio right now. I have 1 share of GameStop. I have shares of Goldman Sachs that they gifted me when I worked there. I have Rare Earth Resources, which is my 5-bagger and has been doing extremely well. And this is one, by the way, I want to hold for a long time because they're basically like a new rare earth resources mine in Wyoming, and the government is giving them all this help to get started. And I think in the long run, this could be worth a lot because it has to happen. The United States needs to get itself off of dependence on China for rare earth resources. And then my other one is Sumo Logic, which is software that I use at my work and I really like. So those are my plays. This one always drives me nuts because everybody's into like Palantir and everything. I'm like, I don't think anybody's really 100% sure what Palantir does. Like, I know that it's analytics, but like, what are the specific analytics that they're doing? I just don't understand. It seems like it's just like the people involved and who have gotten invested in and everything that's creating the hype. But then I look at Sumo and I'm like, why doesn't Sumo get that kind of interest? Like, because I still think that Sumo is cheaper. Like, this is the best application. Like, third-party services, I'll try third-party services, and my work loves to try. It's always like, we'll try a product, and then we'll try it for a few years, and then everybody will be like, oh, you know, this one thing is so much better, and we should totally use this thing, right? Datadog is great. Apparently, I haven't used Datadog, but I hear that it's really good, but it's kind of expensive. And that stock just went wild this year, right? So then I look at Sumo, and I'm like, this is the only application that everybody in my work likes. That it's like a third, like nobody is talking about getting rid of or replacing Sumo. It's great, but the market doesn't care. It's always so frustrating to me. But anyways, those are my positions so that I can be in full transparency. But I don't like to talk about it because I don't like to be like pumping individual stocks, right? But there it is. That's what I'm in right now. And I have an order out. I guess I should also say I have an order out. I don't think it's going to get filled, but I have an order out to get puts on MSTR. I want a short MSTR, man. I think that thing is going kaput at some point. Oh, by the way, I want both of those orders there if I get it. Thoughts on Andrew Left saying he's still short GME? I think that anybody that's short and trying to hold it short here is an idiot. To be honest, going all in on REMF. Wow. I really hope that you guys, I'll be really mad if you all pump that, but I mean, make money on it, but please don't go and pump stocks for me. That'd be bad. Well, unless it's Garlic Coin. If you want to go all in on Garlic Coin, then that's a totally different thing. You just go and put in like $1 million into Garlic Coin. I tell you what, man, that thing is worth 0.002 cents right now. You could buy up pretty much all of the liquidity that's up out there and pump it up to new highs. That would be just great. And, you know, even better yet, just buy it up to like $1. Like if you could buy it up to $1, I would be like really happy because I have like 17,000 Garlic coins. So I'm kidding, of course. Don't do and manipulate cryptocurrencies, but you can't fight oddists. That's why the movement is so dangerous. I mean, I agree. I don't really see the sentiment on the retail side of this thing changing. Like, it would be one thing if everybody's like, GameStop is going up and I want to buy this because I think it's going to be worth X amount, and everybody, the rocket ship to the moon, and it's all speculation and stuff. But it has gone beyond that, right? It is a real battlefield, and this has turned into a proxy war between retail traders and institutional investors. And I love it. I'm happy to see it. And I think that because the retail traders are taking that attitude, that they're not going to give in until they win. And you know what? When it's like the general public getting involved like that, there is no limit to how much money can be put in it. There is no limit. It's going to be like grandma's going to start calling you and asking you how many shares of GameStop she should buy. Like, I really think that's where this is going. So even though it looks like the volume is trailing off, I don't think it's done. The greed is ridiculous. They deserve this. Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. After the shorts are out, it's going to dump, and it's going to dump hard, and probably a lot of people are going to lose money off of it. But in the meantime, have fun. R.I.P. Melvin. I wish that they just, I don't know how I feel about them getting bailed out, because I kind of wanted them to just be out of business, right? Are people really confident that GameStop will successfully build a business around building PCs, gaming hubs, etc.? I actually do think that their business plan is a good one. I don't know how much money that's going to make them in the long run, but I think that GameStop has a brand that they can leverage, and it's a brand that certainly will have potential in the online space. So I just don't know what that actually means for the valuation. All I can do is look at the order flow and see how many people are short and try to make a best guess. And I know that in an extreme market situation that guess is not going to be anywhere close to what actually happens. Oh, wow. Yeah. Error 404. I totally saw that one. The one of the original guys that had bought in like big time down at the very bottom and had made a ton of money, straight up said, "I'm not selling until $1,000" is what I think he said. So, oh, by the way, we should what should we name today's video? You guys got any suggestions for the title of today's video? I don't think I want to leave it at GME up in pre-market. When BTC breaks the 50 moving average, BTC traders will shit all over themselves. It could be. I'm not very bullish on Bitcoin, and I do kind of see it as coming close to the point at which a lot of long holders are going to freak out. I'm not a fan of NIO. I don't follow it. Can't stop GameStop. Oh man, maybe, you know what? I kind of like that. I might actually put that in there. I'm going to put that in there for now. All in caps. With an exclamation point at the end. Yeah. Get everybody clicking. Watch the whole video. You know, I'm impressed. Yesterday we got to 500 viewers towards the end of the stream, and today we got to about 500 viewers a little bit after the market opened, and it stayed up there. So you guys are still watching. I appreciate it. It's good. That means that I'm actually giving you good information and you're staying engaged. It's going to the moon. It's going to the moon, and then it's going to hell, probably. Delusional fanboys raid a respectable futures trading room, and everybody's... You know what, Air Cages? I feel ya. You know, we've always talked about this because we know that you keep streaming, at some point you're going to get a huge influx of users. But Air Cages, it's okay. We're prepared for this. You know, it was really interesting to me. I had some people message me. And by the way, if you get on Discord, you message me on Discord. I always respond to everybody. Or I have an email on my website and in the YouTube information. You can send me emails too. I'll respond to all of those. I try to be really available because trading is hard, and it's hard to do it and like not have anybody to talk to about it. And that's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? So I had some people message me, and they totally got it, that like what we're doing is serious, and that I'm not trying to make some like a guru claim like you just buy this thing of mine and that will make you profitable. No, like what you're doing is competitive and difficult and requires a lot of work. And they totally got it. And so I know there'll be some people that will come along and they'll lose interest after a while because they're not as serious. But I also know that there will be a lot of people that are serious and want to trade futures and want to get good at this and want to work together with us to help us. It was funny because I was saying yesterday, like, these guys aren't your friends. They are, but they aren't. Like, they're competitors, but you can also collaborate with competitors too, right? And that's what we're trying to do here, is collaborate. You need to keep GME in the title. Typing GME in the YouTube search bar is how people find the stream. I know, right? Do I have to keep it on for like everyone? I don't respond. I do respond. I might not respond right away. That's why maybe sometimes it's better to send emails, because you don't know when I'm going to respond. Bots is saying that because sometimes we'll have bots on the stream and bots and I will talk. And sometimes he'll message me on Discord and I don't notice it because I don't watch the Discord when I'm on stream very well. Thanks for the coverage, staying for a quality stream. Oh, thank you so much, General Stash. I try really hard. I can't say that I'm always amazing. I mean, I'm happy about this trade right here. If that one goes, then I think that kind of wipes out some of my boo-boos today. But I'm not going to say that I'm always an amazing trader, but I'm always trying hard, and I'm always working on finding new things and improving our strategies. By the way, it is now past 9:30, so which is about the time that we shut down. Let's look at what the robots did today. Oh, Joseph, what happened, Joseph? Say it ain't so. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, now this one right here, he should be done. Well, let's look at him first. Let's look at the strategy performance of him first. He took 37 trades today. Well, it did make money. I have to say, I think I can make it a lot more efficient than it is. It was like 55%. We don't need to take 37 trades. So I think we should go back and start adding some filters onto it. Maybe improve our win rate another 5% if we could. That's what I'm hoping. Now, what happened to Joseph? How many trades did Joseph take? Joseph took 3. Oh, but you know, Joseph only takes longs, so I totally get why he would get screwed over. He took 3 and one of them worked out. Okay, that's okay. And then Indy. Oh, okay, so Joseph lost money. Indy made money. Interesting. Real time. Indy made money. He took 3. That's not bad. How many adverse ticks do we get? Oh, we need to change this to ticks. How many adverse ticks did he get? Oh, I mean, it's not super great, but I feel like that one, Indy, is normally pretty optimized in where it picks it up, but today it wasn't, so that's interesting. And lastly, Brandon. How did Brandon do? How many did he take? 4, but only, and they have worked out, and he didn't make them. Oh, well, he's 1-to-1, so that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so when you have a day like today where it's kind of gone up and down, Brandon's going to struggle a little bit. Jimmy looks like going sideways. Like, well, I mean, I listed out a couple of different scenarios, but at the moment, I'm definitely looking at it going sideways because that's kind of what I like to see. I just want to see slow and steady buying. Bad robot, right? Well, I'm glad that Jay come out made. I mean, on the E-mini, that's terrible performance, but 68. So it's better. I think we should watch this for another week before we make significant changes to him, unless I go in and I make a change that like really makes it objectively better. But yeah, I'd say, and I still think that overall, well, let's go back and look at the count. Oh, I mean, it made money today. It made money yesterday too. So the combination of them together is doing okay. I don't think that they do quite as well as myself when I'm doing well, but I didn't do well today. I lost money. I mean, if we discount the one where I was just being stupid, which was right here. Which one was it? It was this $50 one. So even if you take the $50 one out, I lost almost as much as I made yesterday. So this one might still work out. How do you balance trading and working full time? Well, I have a very flexible work, and I live in Utah, so I just have to wake up really, really early, and then I work from home right now, so it's easy for me to stop the stream and get into my work meeting in the next 10 minutes. And then, you know, you work your full day. They sure seem a little bearish today, don't you think? I'm gonna hold that one to those stops and see what happens. Keep in mind that the trades that I'm taking on the futures are sim trades right now. I don't want to mislead anybody. I'm all about being like full transparency and everything. Right now, I'm not too confident in my edge markets. I've had periods where during the summer I did amazing. But right now I've been having difficulty in the E-mini, so I'm still kind of working things out. Do you wear a suit on top and swear? No, I'm just wearing chinos, basically. Gray chinos. I should probably get more button-up shirts and stuff. I want to be more serious on stream, but I getcha. See, you think it's going to tank in the next few days? Well, we'll see. They wanted me to put that in the title, and I thought it was a great title. We'll run with it. Well, I'm on the GME train. I'm going to run this, and we'll see how far it takes us. What's the day job? So I'm a computer programmer. I work with site reliability engineering is what we do. Which to me isn't like such a serious thing, but apparently it's a very in-demand and difficult position to fill. Because you kind of got to know the programming and all of the server administration, which I admit it's because I don't know as much on the server administration side, and it's a lot to learn. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Do you see a point where the shorts exit their position, or do they have too much pride to take the L? Yeah, I don't know, Joshua. So the thing is that I think that when the shorts get out of their position, they're going to want to be as sneaky about it as possible. All of these things that I've been seeing that list like the percentage of shares short, I don't know how they calculate that information or how up to date it is. I think that it's probably going to be one of those things where they'll get out and you'll know that they get out long after it happens, site reliability, but your site went down. You got me. It's touche, totally fair. And I need to look at that because they sent me an email, but it did not stand out to me. This one, I need to add a star, like mark as important, so that next time Gmail will highlight that to me, because it did not notify me that it had run out of funds. Okay, guys, it is time for me to get going. So I just do real quick remind you, this is a channel where if you want to follow us, I would highly recommend subscribing and clicking the bell icon, because you might not want to watch every stream, but there are videos that come out and stuff like that. You don't want to miss those. So if you click the bell icon and set your settings up right, you make sure that you never miss anything. And if you do want to come in and watch the stream every day, it makes it a lot easier to find the stream. So that's the first thing. Also, check the video links below. I got a couple of Facebook groups that we're trying to build up where you can buy these Traders Gonna Trade mugs, which I think is a great thing for those of you guys that watch the stream every day to kind of have something that says you're part of the community. I have my Speculator Seth website where you can try out the indicators that I have. I was showing you guys, I have the video about Jigsaw, so if you want to do Jigsaw, that helps. I'm making a video coming out hopefully on Monday about news trading, so we'll have that too. Anyways, and thank you guys for the donations too. Greg, did you donate another $5, Greg? You don't have to. You've already donated so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.